everybody. This is Laura Lester and Jane Rhodes. I'm with Encore Memory Care Day Center. I have 3 centers now, one in Plano, Bedford, and Louisville. And Jane was Jane's husband was one of our clients in our Plano location. And so we've invited her to just come and speak a little bit about her caregiving journey.
Yes, we met. I was a teacher and he was the new football coach at school. He had just finished his master's at the University of Houston after having been in Vietnam 6 years. So anyway, we've been married 53 years. We have 4 kids and grandchildren and great-grandchildren. He was a number one great dad, great husband. When we first got married, we moved to Columbus, Texas, and he was football coach there. But he got in the reserves and still flew. So if you're in the reserves and you fly, you go one night a week. And so he flew at Ellington when we lived in Houston. And then when we eventually moved to Austin. He went to San Antonio one night a week to fly.
Oh, wow. Was he always outgoing? Did y'all do a bunch?
Oh yes, he's Mr. Personality, and he loves to travel. So we have traveled all over the world. I'm so thankful for that. And he eventually he was the school when we moved to Austin. He was the school principal for 30 years. And then his last event was he was the superintendent for the University of Texas Charter Schools. And then he retired. About 15 years ago, I noticed little things, but I really didn't think much about it for a while. And then it got to be more. And so a dear friend of ours who was a doctor said, maybe Jeff needs to have a neuropsych test. And so we did. First they want to make sure there's not a tumor. And the doctor said, it's early memory loss. And he was the late 60s, maybe 68, 69 at the time. And so for a while, it was just teeny little things that you just think, oh, that's age, can't find my keys, that kind of normal situation. And then he played golf with the guys all the time, and they started seeing some things, and they were so sweet and tolerant and patient with him, But our friend, again, who was the doctor, said, as dementia progresses, there's about a 7-year kind of plateau, just little things, and then it'll take a big dive. And that's exactly what happened. We moved to Plano 12 years ago, and it really changed. And then it really took a dive. He had 2 back surgeries and then a neck surgery. And every time someone who has dementia is put to sleep, it affects the dementia and it does not get better. It stays. So the 3rd surgery really did it. And I thought, oh my gosh. So I was his caretaker, of course, all along. He quit driving about 2 years after we moved here. He had 2 wrecks, and so that was the end of that. And I would have to hide the car keys to make sure he didn't take an unauthorized drive, which he would do. I had trouble. He would walk across the street to Tom Thumb and do scratch-off tickets. So I had to watch him as time went on constantly. Surprised. And at first, since it was so minute, I didn't know what to expect. I had not been around anybody that had dementia or Alzheimer, so it was a learning experience as I went along.
Yeah, that's a really steep learning curve to right there with
it was.
You. Wow.
Well, I have a certain. Our family all lived here, And when we moved here 12 years ago, the first few years weren't too bad. I mean, I couldn't let him drive or couldn't let him be out of my sight to go across the street to Tom Thumb. But other than that, he went to Plano Senior Citizen a couple of days a week and played poker and loved that. And so he got out some. And we have a daughter who lives with us who's had cancer and 8 back surgery. So I had her too. And but as time went on and he got worse, his anger issues came out that he really is normally a jolly, happy person, but he would get out of sorts playing Texas Hold'em at the Senior Citizen, and finally they called me and said that, he just couldn't come back. And so then I was getting desperate, and I looked up, I thought, I've got to find something. So I looked online one day. I thought if I could find an adult activity center or daycare or something. And then I found Encore. And both of our lives totally changed. Well, I went first because I had no idea what it was all about. And I met with Dana. And oh my gosh, she's just Miss Personality. And she took me all around and, was seeing what all the resident or the people who went there every day were doing. And they had so many activities. And it did not feel like a
facility.
No, not at all. It was a day program. They had this beautiful outdoor balcony that was safe. It was, there was a fence around it. But they were doing so many different things. People were not sit around watching TV or they did everything. And so then I went back home and I took Jeff over. And he looked at everything and saw people and started talking, his favorite thing. And he never missed a beat from the first day he went. He loved it.
Laura, you remember those days?
I do remember, and that's unusual. Jeff was unusual because most people are a little bit fearful in the beginning. Jeff never had one fear, not one. And he, as I was telling her this morning, Jeff always needed an audience. Well, there was a ready-made audience for Jeff. So he had his stories, and he would tell he had 3 really good stories that he would tell. And he would, my guests, the good thing about my guests is they forgot they've heard the stories before. So they react the same way they do the first time they hear them. And so it was just, it was a perfect environment for Jeff.
Right.
And for us. He was such a blessing to us.
I'm curious about what were the stories.
Oh, he just had a lot. He had some good stories. How he met his wife. And,
he flew C-130s.
Yes.
And they're the big transport planes, and they're very loud. And actually, his dementia became worse because his hearing loss became worse. And so that compounded his dementia. And, but he loves to talk and tell his stories, and they get bigger and better sometimes. And he not only did he enjoy the residents at Encore, he loved the staff. I mean, he loved the staff, and so it worked out all the way around. And for us, something that I didn't know when we went to Encore at first, it has a veterans contract. So Jeff ended up going as a veteran, and they paid his way. And Encore was so wonderful about different veteran events. I mean, they would go all out on celebrating it, and it was just special.
And Jeff would wear his jumpsuit from his flight suit. He would say, I still fit my flight suit. And he would tell his stories, his war stories. And he was a hero. He was a colonel, wasn't he?
Yes.
Yeah, he was a big deal. It was a big deal. And he saved some people's lives. He's got medals. He brings his medals up. And really great. He was just great. He's a great guy. We love Jeff so much.
He totally enjoyed being there. And when he got home, he, was calmer and, we had our little routine every afternoon and he loved that and he was always looking forward to going back. And at one point in time, I tried having Dart pick him up and take him. We lived about 30 minutes away, so I would, go over there every morning, take him and come home 30 minutes and then go get him in the afternoon, same thing. And so I tried Dart. Well, they were very good, but they had other people too. And so just because they were supposed to be there at a certain time didn't mean they got there. Oh my goodness, he couldn't handle that. He would just pace around, standing at the door looking, and did not want to be late. So that didn't work out for us, but it is very helpful for others that don't have transportation, but I could be the one to take him.
So how did Encore help you?
This may have to be omitted, but having a daughter to take care of, she's self-sufficient, but still, she has a lot of illnesses and I have to take her to the doctor quite a bit too. And we had, some big scares with her, but by Jeff going to Encore, I knew he was well taken care of. I knew he was totally enjoying himself. And for me, I think if he hadn't gone, if I had to continue to have him at home all day, every day, I used to say I was going to be in the crazy old lady home, but I wanted to make sure they had happy hour. I wasn't going.
So it gave you a break too.
Yes, absolutely gave me a break. I would take him and drop him off, 9:30 or 10 every morning. I'd pick him up about 4:30. So I had that time to do what I wanted to do. I could go to lunch with friends. I could go to the grocery store, do whatever I need to do. But I could also be there for my daughter if she needed me. So yes, it was a mental and physical break for me. And I could be a lot more tolerant than if he were there all day. I think any caretaker will tell you it's easy to lose patience and you don't want to, but sometimes you think, I just can't take this another second. They had music every week and they had a lady that came in and did Dolly Parton and she was all decked out like Dolly Parton. Oh my God, he loved that. And they played games. He loves and adores poker, bingo, etc. And they did that. That was his favorite thing. And he wanted to make sure I never came after him if it was going to interrupt bingo. No. And so he, and the staff, they had the same staff. Jeff was there 4.5 years. And they had the same staff. And, it was like extended family for both of us. He went to the Texas Veterans Home in Bonham about 1.5 years ago. And it was time, and again, any caretaker will tell you this. You feel guilty, and because you think I could last a little longer, but I just could not. And I'm very thankful. It is such a good place, and never when he comes home to visit, sometimes overnight. And he's never said, I don't want to go back.
Yeah. And you said you go and visit him, right?
Every week.
And take
Romeo. We have a big dog, Romeo. He weighs 100 pounds. And he is so laid back and sweet. And when Jeff was at Encore, I would take Romeo to visit sometime. And everybody there wanted to pet him. And nothing makes him happier than to smile and wag his tail. So now he goes to the Texas Veterans Home every week, and the people are really upset if I don't take him.
Romeo's the star.
He is the star of the show. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Anybody should have their loved one go to Encore. It is the best of the best, and the staff is the best of the best, and it makes your caretaking journey a lot more bearable and for a lot longer period of time until it has to change.
Well, I just want to thank you for being here, Jane, and thank you for sharing Jeff with us, because it was such a joy while he was during his time at Encore. We keep up with him. We like to know how he's doing, and so. But anyway, thank you for your time. Appreciate you very much.
My pleasure.